What if I told you the main character of the TV series You, Joe Goldberg, is more than just a creepy stalker? What if he's a walking case study in distorted love, moral collapse, and just enough charm to make you root for him? Weird, right? Joe Goldberg isn't terrifying because of what he does. He's terrifying because of the reasons he does it. The moment Joe meets Beck, he doesn't just like her. He assigns her a role in a love story she never agreed to. He analyzes her clothing, her reading habits, and even the way she says thank you and decides, yup, she's the one. What could be possibly seen here is erotomania. Erotomania is a delusional disorder where someone believes another person is in love with them. Here, Joe reads every action as a clue that Beck already wants him, which he thinks gives him a license to act. Also, Joe checks Beck's social media like a detective. He knows her favorite coffee shop, her friends, even her insecurities, and even the places she goes to. He doesn't interact with her much in real life, but he feels that he knows everything about her just from her online presence. This kind of connection is just one-sided. What we could possibly see here is the illusory truth effect. The illusory truth effect says that the more you hear or see something, the more you believe it's true, even if it's not. Joe sees Beck post things online over and over again about her writing, her relationships, her struggles, and he believes he understands her deeply. But that's not actually the truth. He just sees what Beck chooses to post. Think of it like this: you see someone's posts on social media about them being super confident and being really social, and over time you assume that is their true personality, but in reality they could actually be shy and socially awkward. Also, what we could possibly see here is parasocial relationships. This is when one person, like a fan or a follower, feels emotionally connected to someone who doesn't even know they exist. It's common with celebrities, influencers, or streamers. Joe knows everything about Beck's life, but Beck barely knows him. He's in a one-sided relationship. He thinks they are deeply connected, but it's all in his head. You see, social media creates the illusion that we know people really well, but that's not really the whole truth. Now let's look at another aspect where Joe finds out that Beck is seeing a guy named Benji. Turns out Benji was Beck's ex-boyfriend, but Beck and Benji still meet each other from time to time. When Joe finds out about this, he sees Benji as a threat to the relationship he's building with Beck. But for Joe, it's still all in his head. Him and Beck are not in an actual relationship at this point. What Joe does next is really shocking. Joe kidnaps Benji and locks him in a soundproof glass cage in the bookstore basement. Joe interrogates him and eventually poisons him. But here's the thing, Joe doesn't see himself as a murderer. He genuinely believes that he's doing this for Beck's good, that he's removing a toxic person from her life. What we could possibly see here is moral disengagement. It's when someone convinces themselves that bad actions like lying, cheating, or even killing are okay under the circumstances. They disconnect their actions from guilt or responsibility. Instead of Joe seeing his own actions as wrong, he creates justifications like, oh, Benji is a terrible person and he's actually hurting Beck. And Joe actually thinks that he's protecting her. Because now Joe reframes his crime as a noble act, he doesn't feel guilty. Also, we see the just world hypothesis. It is a belief that bad things happen to bad people and good things happen to good people. We want the world to feel fair, so we convince ourselves it is fair, even though it's not. Joe convinces himself that Benji deserves to die. He focuses on Benji's worst traits, his arrogance, his drug use, his mistreatment of Beck, and uses that to justify the murder. This makes Joe feel like he's not the villain. He just thinks he's correcting an unfair situation. This scene is disturbing because it shows how far someone can potentially go to protect a delusion. Joe's relationship with Beck wasn't even real yet, but he was ready to commit murder to preserve the fantasy. After a while, Beck finds out the truth about Joe. She discovers that Joe has been stalking her. He killed Benji and one of her friends named Peach. Beck is shocked and horrified and tries to escape, but Joe locks her in the glass cage in the basement of the bookstore, the same place where he killed Benji. While she's trapped, Joe still talks to her like they are in a loving relationship. He says things like, I did this for us and I protected you. He really believed that he's acting out of love even though he imprisoned her. At this point, Joe can't see reality anymore. He still sees himself as Beck's savior. What we could possibly see here is cognitive dissonance. It's the mental discomfort we feel when our actions don't match our beliefs or self-image. To reduce this discomfort, we change how we think instead of changing our actions. Joe believes that he's a good loving partner, but his actions, kidnapping, stalking, and killing don't line up with that. So instead of admitting he's wrong, Joe rewrites the story in his head, thinking like this: oh, she doesn't understand now, but she will eventually. I had to do this, I had no choice, it's for her own good. This lets him continue to see himself as the hero. Also, what we could possibly see here is the hero complex, also known as the savior complex. It's when someone feels the need to save others even when it's not their place. They may get self-worth from being needed or being the one that fixes people. Joe thinks Beck is lost, broken, or surrounded by bad people and only he can rescue her. Even when Beck is terrified, Joe still believes he's saving her. In his mind, he's not the problem, he's the solution. This mindset makes Joe ignore other people's choices or boundaries. He thinks he knows best and that for him justifies any action, even violence. Joe Goldberg is scary because even though he's causing harm to others, he still thinks he's right. He believes what he's doing is actually saving other people. So what do you guys think about this character? Do you know anyone like this in real life? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.